There are lever-action rifles that just refuse to earn their keep. No matter how iconic or good-looking they are, they'll let you down when it matters most. But for some reason, some of them still get hyped up like they're worth your time and money. So what gives? And more importantly, which lever actions are we talking about here? In this video, we'll look at 5 lever guns everyone should steer clear of, whether it's because they're jam-prone, poorly built, or just too inconsistent to trust in the field. We'll cover modern misfires like the Henry Long Ranger and the Ruger-era Marlin 1894, both of which come with a price tag that makes their flaws sting even more. Then we'll go back in time to examine the mechanical quirks of the legendary Winchester 1873 and the oddly engineered Model 88, which promised a lot but delivered very little in terms of reliability. And let's not forget the Rossi R92, cheap, flashy, and just as likely to lock up as it is to fire. If you've been eyeing any of these, please look somewhere else. They may look great on the wall or in a catalog, but when the lead starts flying or the hunt gets serious, they can leave you high and dry. Winchester 1873. This lever gun arrived in an era when a rifle could mean the difference between life and death on the plains. It gained popularity partly because of the 4440 Winchester cartridge, which was soon picked up by revolver makers like Colt and Remington. People appreciated not having to juggle multiple ammo types, and the convenience of loading both rifle and sidearm with the same shells was a real breakthrough at the time. The 1873 became famous for giving shooters that one-cartridge-fits-all solution. It had a robust frame for the day, offered a capacity of 15 rounds, and was known for quick follow-up shots. Historians dubbed it the gun that won the West, and those who love old guns frequently cite it as a milestone in lever-action history. Time changes, though. The 1873 was introduced in an era that predated Spitzer bullets, advanced metallurgy, and modern powders. It's still around in both original specimens and reproductions from companies like Uberti and Winchester's own reissue line, which can run from about $1,200 to $1,500 depending on features. Some folks buy these rifles purely for historical value. Others try to use them as a range or ranch tool, sometimes even for short-distance hunting. That's when disappointment often sets in. The toggle link action inside is clever, but delicate compared to more contemporary lever guns. Wear and tear can cause alignment issues, especially around the carrier, which has to lift each round. If it's not perfectly timed, the bolt can jam or the lever may bind. Some owners have to hold the rifle completely vertical to coax the carrier back into place, which is not what you want in a practical shooting scenario. The tension in the carrier lever spring can also degrade. A weak spring can let the carrier dip and prevent the bolt from engaging smoothly. Replacing that spring might sound straightforward, but removing the side plates to get to the internals can be a puzzle. These rifles weren't designed with easy maintenance in mind. Even advanced gun owners who are comfortable with classic firearms admit the 1873 demands extra patience and specialized knowledge. Over-tightening a small screw or installing a part that's off by a fraction of a millimeter can mess up timing all over again. Despite these hassles, some people remain loyal to the 1873 because they love how it handles at short range, or they simply want to own a piece of American history. For a collector or cowboy action competitor, the quirks might be part of the charm, but if you're after day-to-day reliability and a lever action, you should really look at other lever guns out there. Rossi R92. The Rossi R92 presents itself as a budget-friendly tribute to the famed Model 1892, designed by John Browning. Many are interested in it because it usually sits between $600 and $700, and it's offered in fun calibers like .357 Magnum, .44 Magnum, and .45 Colt. These chamberings appeal to both cowboy action buffs and everyday shooters who enjoy the synergy of pistol caliber rifles. The R92 also looks good on store shelves, with some variants sporting stainless steel and a shiny hardwood stock that definitely catches the eye. It's lightweight and quick to shoulder, which suggests a handy little carbine for hunting small to medium game or for extended range sessions. Not everyone has a horror story with the R92. Some owners are happy and report that theirs cycles smoothly right out of the box. Others, however, describe significant problems that show up very early. A few unlucky folks say the loading gate assembly fell off, or the action jammed when more than a few rounds were in the magazine. Some rifles feed 2 rounds into the chamber area at once, causing an immediate stop in the entire operation. Others become nearly impossible to load once you get to the 10th round. These sorts of reliability issues defeat the purpose of owning a lever gun that's supposed to be simpler than many repeating rifles. Trying to get help from the parent company, Taurus, has been a mixed bag. One person detailed how his rifle returned from service with new scratches on the metal and even missing screws. Another said the replacement parts were poorly fitted, leaving the rifle in a worse cosmetic state than before. That's a big letdown when you consider that you purchased it precisely because you wanted an all-purpose lever action that wouldn't break the bank. The R92's design is essentially a scaled-down copy of Browning's Model 1892, which was known for strength, but the difference lies in manufacturing standards and quality control. Browning's original was robust. Rossi's version can be questionable. Shop owners continue to stock the R92 because its price is hard to beat, and the idea of a quick-handling lever rifle in a revolver cartridge appeals to many. I tell friends that if they really want a good lever gun, they should save a couple $100 more and get something with 100% proven reliability. Winchester Model 88. The Winchester Model 88 arrived in 1955, intended to modernize lever-action rifles for the post-war generation. Winchester wanted to cater to hunters who had grown accustomed to bolt-action capabilities in cartridges like .308 and .243. The Model 88 set itself apart from earlier lever designs by featuring a forward-locking, rotating bolt, a detachable box magazine, and a sleek one-piece stock. It was a radical shift away from the tubular magazines and top-eject actions that had been the hallmark of Winchester lever guns. The new design allowed the use of spire-pointed rounds without risking accidental discharge in the magazine tube, and it appealed to those who wanted more range and power than a .30-30 or pistol caliber rifle could provide. Despite this ambition, the Model 88 never achieved the enduring mainstream status of the Model 94, or even the older 1892. The biggest complaint centers on accuracy. Some individuals managed to get sub-2-inch group from certain rifles, but many reported more erratic performance. One reason is the unique bedding system. The barrel is secured to the forearm with a single screw around the halfway mark, which can affect barrel harmonics. That might not matter at close range, but it can wreak havoc if you're attempting shots out beyond 200 yards. Another letdown is the trigger. Many shooters call it mushy or vague. It's not necessarily heavy, it's just not crisp. Tinkering with it can be an ordeal because the trigger is complex and rarely tackled by standard gunsmiths. A handful of experts made careers out of refining the Model 88 triggers, but they've become difficult to find. Feeding reliability varies from rifle to rifle. The Model 88 can sometimes be picky about how aggressively you work the lever. Angling the rifle to the wrong side can lead to feeding issues, and using a poorly maintained or slightly dinged up magazine makes those problems worse. Some might think combining an M100 magazine from the semi-automatic Winchester 100 with a Model 88 would work because they look alike, but it will only lead to even more malfunctions. Collectors still buy them on the used market. Prices can range from $700 to well over $1,000 based on condition, caliber, and the fact that the pre-64 rifles often have more desirable wood and slightly better finishing. The 88 is definitely a piece of mid-20th century history, and it appeals to those who love unique lever guns. However, it can be a demanding companion that needs consistent technique and occasional parts hunting to keep it at its best. Marlin 1894. Marlin's 1894 is a well-known pistol caliber lever rifle with roots that stretch back to the late 19th century. It was prized for its solid top receiver, which made it easy to mount sights, and for its slab-sided bolt. Shooters embraced it because it could chamber rounds like .44 Magnum, .45 Colt, and .357 Magnum. That gave them a fast-cycling, relatively lightweight carbine that matched their revolvers. The older JM-stamped 1894s from Marlin's original factory are revered for consistent quality. Then Remington took over, and many fans of the platform noticed sloppy fit, rough machining, and poor finishing. That tarnished the 1894's reputation and produced the nickname Remlin. When Ruger bought Marlin, a lot of us hoped the brand would finally return to its glory days. Some of the new Ruger-made 1894s do exhibit improvements, such as better wood-to-metal fit and deep, clean bluing. The action often arrives smoother than it did during the Remington era, and owners appreciate the crisp checkering and overall nicer appearance. The price is in the $1,150 to $1,300 range for the .44 Magnum Classic, which is no small sum if the rifle ends up plagued by mechanical issues. Reports vary widely. Certain buyers say their rifles feed a wide range of loads without a hitch, while others complain that heavier bullet weights like Buffalo Bore's 305 grainers can jam. The jam usually manifests as two rounds colliding or the next round not dropping properly. In one instance, the lip between the magazine tube and the receiver caused the rim to catch. That's more than a minor annoyance, because it can completely halt the rifle during quick operation. Another concern is the factory-installed sights. Some owners have discovered that even with the rear sight elevator maxed out, the shots still land low at 25 yards. Such an issue suggests a mismatch in sight height or placement, and it feels like a major oversight on a lever gun that otherwise aims to be user-friendly. Minor cosmetic issues like scratches near the barrel band or blemishes on the stock can also make people wonder whether quality control is consistent. Ruger has a solid reputation for customer service, but sending a brand new rifle back right away is disappointing. Still, the 1894 has that timeless look and handling, and many of us have always liked a pairing of .44 Magnum revolver with a matching carbine. For short to medium range hunting tool or a fun range companion, the 1894 can fill both roles. The real gamble is whether the rifle you receive will be trouble-free or prone to jamming. Henry Long Ranger. Henry Repeating Arms introduced the Long Ranger as a major step away from its iconic tube-fed lever guns. The company aimed to supply a lever rifle that handles modern short-action cartridges, such as .223 Remington, .243 Winchester, .308 Winchester, and 6.5 Creedmoor. The price generally hovers at around $1,066 MSRP, which puts it in competition with plenty of reputable bolt actions. It claims to have a free-floated barrel, a geared lever with a rotating bolt, and a rotary magazine that can safely hold pointed bullets, opening up more ballistic options. It certainly looks and feels more refined than a typical tube-fed lever, and some owners praise the crisp edges, nice walnut, and simplified scope mounting on the solid top receiver. In theory, the Long Ranger should thrive at distances beyond 200 yards because it can use high-velocity cartridges and pointed projectiles. The real-world experiences of owners, however, are mixed. Some get sub-MOA groups or near that figure, especially when carefully selecting ammunition. Others see groups open to 4, 6, or even 12 inches at just 100 yards. One user discovered the 4N was applying irregular pressure on the barrel, causing wild group shifts as the barrel heated. After removing and sanding the handguard to create genuine free-floating clearance, the rifle's accuracy improved dramatically. Not everyone feels comfortable doing that kind of work on a brand new gun, nor should they have to. If the product claims a free-floated barrel, it's fair to expect the proper clearance from the factory. The trigger is another repeated complaint. The advertised pull is around 3.5 to 4 pounds, but some triggers have creep or a stacking feel that can throw off consistency. The inner contour barrel also heats up quickly, which is not unusual, but the shift in point of impact can be more pronounced than people expect. There are also reports of extraction issues that can leave spent cases stuck, sometimes even jamming the bolt in place. That's a serious problem for anyone using the rifle in a hunting scenario where quick follow-up shots matter. Multiple owners have recounted sending their Long Ranger in for repairs. The brand is known for a strong focus on customer service, so there's that. But it doesn't really matter if the product keeps malfunctioning. The concept behind the Long Ranger is appealing. Combine the classic lever feel with the ballistic potential of modern cartridges. The execution leaves enough question marks that many cautious buyers hesitate. Some guns do live up to Henry's promises, offering respectable range and reliability, but the overall track record is inconsistent. Anyone who invests over $1,000 in a lever rifle rightly expects it to function well from day one. Having to do do-it-yourself stock adjustments or send the rifle back repeatedly isn't what most people want. It's possible you'll get a Long Ranger that beats all your needs, cycles perfectly, and delivers the accuracy you hoped for. The frustration comes from the fact that it's not guaranteed. One friend might rave about half-inch groups, while another might be pulling out the forend to check for misalignment. It's a gamble, and a fairly expensive one at that. So there you have it. 5 lever guns that, for all their charm or reputation, just aren't worth your time and money. Which one surprised you the most? Or which one were you already suspicious about? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button, share this with your gun buddies, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss another video. Thanks for watching.